It's finally here. I'm finally diving into Rimworld. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay, this game is one of my favorites. I know, I have a lot of favorites. That's mainly why I'm playing them on my channel, is because they're my favorites. Anyway, this here is a game I've lost several hours to. It is a lot of strategy. It is a lot of patience. And there's a pretty significant amount of luck or RNGesus, depending on how you want to view it. Let's go ahead and just get started here. The pitch is simple. You have been jettisoned from a ship, at least in the crash landed scenario, and your job is to use your 3 survivors to try and survive, manage your life, and then somehow get off of this Rimworld. The other option is the rich explorer. People called you crazy for leaving your glitter home world, but you always yearn to explore the stars outside the Nero simulator. Anyway, now you're at the end of your long journey in crypto sleep, landing in an unknown Rimworld to see what it's like. So there's that. And of course, the Lost Tribe. Now, the advantage here is that you start with 5 people, which is great. However, the trade-off to that is being a tribe of natives who are not quite as technologically inclined. You research everything slower, so pay attention to that. We're going to go with the vanilla version here of Crash Landed because this was the first version ever released. Now, for this run, for the curious and for those who experience this, I'm going 100% vanilla. I have no mods. I have no intention to mod this particular run. I also am making sure that I'm limiting any save scums. In fact, I am only going to have 2 save scums for the entire run. I'm going to reserve them for only very maybe if I make a mistake I could have prevented, I might use it there. But I'm going to keep it up to date in the video description. I only have 2, and that's all I'm limiting myself to. So once they're gone, they're gone. So I got to make them good. Alright, for those new to the series, first off, save scumming, in case anyone's unfamiliar. A save scum is someone who, in a game like this that's meant to be played with no continuation, no backtracking, just march forward until you die. Save scum is where you revert back to a better situation and you kind of rebuild, replay it as an alternative timeline. So, save scum is using an old save to save your butt, pretty much. So I'm going to make sure I only have 2. I'll keep track of them. And hey, it might even be interesting in the comments to see if it's worth save scumming. Get involved. I'd love to have you involved. Write any comments below, and if you're going to like any videos, please do subscribe. We'll keep you up to date. But back to this. So back to our new visitors. You have 3 modes of your storyteller. This kind of guides exactly what's going to happen during your adventure. Cassandra Classic will make sure that everything runs as expected. You still have story events, but they will steadily increase. Phoebe Chillax will make sure that it's a bit more about building and a bit more about making your colony work. However, at high difficulties, she plays just like everyone else. And then last but not least, Randy frickin' Random. Okay, this guy causes heartaches. The reason this guy is a pain in my butt is no matter what difficulty you check, he can either help you dramatically, he can hinder you dramatically, or leave you with a whole lot of nothing. He lives up to his name. It's very hard to do a run on Randy Random because you just don't know what to prepare for. So we're going to go with Cassandra Classic. I'm going to go with the intense difficulty. Extreme, you don't get a chance to really get a few moments. Like, extreme is great for showing off skill. Quill 18, if you've ever seen or heard of Quill 18, he does extreme runs and he does them very, very well. But let's stick with intense for now. Okay, formal shirt is our seed if anyone wants to join in this. Formal shirt highlighted here. So let's create our world. Now, before the more later update, creating a world was literally just creating a map, and then you'd pick what you wanted off of the map, and then you would pick up and go. Ludion Studios has developed an actual living, breathing world. If you create a new faction and you decide to land, say here. Here's all the statistics. It's large hills. You know, average temperature is 34 degrees Fahrenheit. It gives you a growing season that you can kind of expect that you can grow things for, which is not a lot of time, unfortunately. So, after you land there, if your colony is alive, you can actually see your colony. If you decide to create a second colony, a third, a fourth, a fifth, so on and so forth. Great mechanics. This was a new update, and it was beautifully done. I applaud you, Ludion Studios. Thank you for making a great game even greater. They also added the ability to create travel caravans. So if you want to try and maybe come up here, get a little bit of help, or send some help, get some supplies, you can make a caravan do so. Now, the Boreal Forest is a little bit rough, but going with wanting things to be good, I'm going to randomize it. You're going to hear a series of clicks. Here we go. We are going to go ahead, and my eyes are closed as of right now. I'm going to say stop. Let's see what we got here. Mountainous areas, 43 degrees, 12 degrees. We have the 6th of spring till the 6th of fall to grow things in. We have a summer temperature of 73. So really our winter temperature is going to be our worst. Mountainous areas. Okay. You know what? Oh, it's a desert though. Oof. Desert makes it rough to grow because obviously there's not a lot there. But you know what? That's part of the game. So this is where our ship is going to point to land. Now let's pick our survivors. I usually spend a significant amount of time here. I have limited what I'm looking for. What I want for this run, we need someone who's good at cooking, we need someone who's good with weapons, and we need someone who's good at construction or research. I will take either one. If they happen to be both, swell. The level of personality that you get in this game is amazing. You have your backstory, which highly influences your abilities and what you can and cannot do. Like, for example, in childhood, a researcher. Great. For example, in backstory here, story writer. As a child, Georgette was addicted to reading. She'd spend all day reading. Artistic +4, research +3. By the way, I don't mean the to disregard the amount of great work it took to put these in. I just want to keep this video a little shorter, but it's going to be longer because these first videos of introducing the mechanics can take a bit longer. Now, that was her childhood. However, as an adult, she was a house servant, and the house servant affected more further things. Georgette was kidnapped and sold to a wealthy aristocrat as a domestic servant. She no longer can research, so all that benefit and things she did as a child completely gone to waste. She's also not very good with manual labor such as growing and mining, so there's that. So she's incapable of intellectual work such as researching. She's a fast walker, but she's psychically hypersensitive, which means if there's a psychic drone or something that's going to attack them on a different kind of level, she's pretty prone to breaking. Her strong points are aminals, and that's it. Like, she can kind of fight. Not a good character. I'm going to re-roll her. See, now here's the pain. This is what kills me. We have a 55-year-old female colonist. Sickly child, so not very strong. Machine collector, very, very good with crafting and research. A little nervous, so, breaks a little easier under abuse. And a bit of abrasive. Okay. So, Tatiana, not bad. But here's the thing. She has cataracts in both eyes. Her sight is hindered. She has a couple of scratch scars and bite scar. The cataracts have me nervous. But my goodness, look at the research, the crafting, the mining. I think I gotta keep her. We can eventually get artificial eyes, but it's a long ways away. Let's see what we got here. And medicine was pretty good too. Yeah, medicine's through the roof. Yeah, just keep... Okay. I'll deal with the fact you're hindered in your sight. Good thing you're not a strong shooter. You're an okay shooter, but let's see what we got here. Ellie, the charity worker and cult child. Okay. Incapable of intellect or violent, so will not attack at all. Fast walker and kind. But man, the rest of the stats are pretty tanked. It's a lot of zeros and a lot of marks. I can't quite work with that one. Apocalypse survivor, message carrier, cannot do intellectual work, a jogger, a hard worker, and pretty. He's so pretty. Seth, the pretty man. Good shooter. Not so much social, but he has a passion for it. So the little flames means that they're passionate. They'll learn and get faster experience as they do that. Cooking's a 3. We'd like a 4, but you know, hey, that's okay. He's willing to mine, and the rest of this is 0. We'll keep him for now. Let's see what we can get here. The noble. Cannot do dumb labor and skilled labor. Already not interested. I don't care that you're a socialite. If you cannot help move bricks or move supplies, it's not happening. And it's a shame, because you're rolled as being the daughter of Tatiana, and you're just a spoiled little brat. Artistic's okay. Social's okay. Shooting, the shooting is pretty good. No, I can't do it. I just... Mining's good. Prostophile, there we go. And Prostophile dreams of going somewhat bionic. Fast walker and optimist. Cannot do firefighting. Really passionate about melee fighting. Holy crap. And mining. Oh, but that means... No, he's our better shooter. Okay, I was going to say, our cataract-laden character's our best shot. We're in trouble. Never mind. So, melee and construction is good. And mining is good. You know what? I think this is going to be it. I think these are our 3. I feel good about them. I do feel good about them. Let's see what happens. We made it through this initial setup, and oh, you know what? I still show we're under 10 minutes of actual recording. So, there might be hope for us in actually not getting completely swamped with a very long episode. I'll add another 15 minutes, so I'm going to try and keep this about a 25-minute video. Going forward, it should be about 17 to 20 is my goal. Okay, the 3 of you wake up in the cryptosleep sarcophagi to the sounds of sirens and ripping metal. You barely get to the escape pods before the ship is torn apart. Sometime later, you land on this unknown Rimworld. As pieces of the shredded starship fall around you, you start making plans to survive. Here we go. Alright, and we're pausing. Let's survey our area. Oh, man. Okay. Kind of a mess here, people. Here's the advantages. Let's break this down to advantages and disadvantages, shall we? You've got a little bit of farm area here. We have boxed in areas, like our initial area. We could fortify pretty good and have this whole space to kind of work with. We have geothermal power, which is good. And it wouldn't take, well, that would be our longest stretch. Our longest stretch to actually fortify would be making a wall to somehow cover this up. Even if we just went over and up. Maybe, okay. So far, I'm okay with it. We can then turn this into farmland up here. And we can at least block off our areas down here. Okay. Let's start it. We shouldn't have to worry about defenses too bad yet. Let's unforbid everything. Initially, when they fall, you'll see that there's little X's here. The X's mean just that. You are unable to interact or use this resource. So by scrolling out and double-clicking on one, we can unforbid everything. There's that. We're going to unforbid the food, the weapons. Let's see, the pistol, the silver, the knife, the lumber. What else do we have? I'm pretty sure that's it. We need to research stone cutting out the gate. Unless he made it to where stone cutting is out. A stone cutter's table is out the gate. Okay, guys. We have a hope. We have a hope and a prayer. So, fine. We can do this. I feel pretty confident. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. The big thing about this game is planning and executing. So let's go ahead and plan a structure. We have some wood, so we're going to build a structure here to kind of cut off that area. We'll put a little door right there. And the big thing is this large open area. Sorry, I know that's redundant and ridiculous, but I cannot get over how crazy this area is. How much wood was that? I didn't even see. So that uses 95 of our wood. And I didn't mean to do that. Build wall. Okay. Okay, so there's that. We'll give it a little door here. And then let's build a wall here. And give it a little door here. Okay, so that's probably going to eat up every ounce of wood we have. Just for walls. We do not have any other resource of wood. So we need to prioritize a workbench. So if we can get this secured first and foremost, because there's a lot back here, this is going to be good. So let's go ahead and also add a zone. There's a lot to this. Like, I would sit here and explain it all, but it's going to be easier just to play the game, and then you'll be able to kind of see where things are, why they are, and how it goes. So let's go ahead and build a roof over this area, and also a roof over this area. And that's going to give us kind of our starting points here. Jobs. Well, let's give everybody their jobs and make them priorities. So, doctoring, number one. Being a patient is also number one. Firefighting is number one. Bed rest if they need it. Flicking on things. These are all givens. Kind of nothing too bad. Warden will be if we get a prisoner. We're going to make it 2 and 3. Handling, we'll make it a 2 because we can teach the dog a couple of really nice tricks. Hunt. We will have you be number 1. I do not want the cataract lady hunting. However, she can cook with a backup of being Seth. Okay. Construct. I will say everybody can construct, but primarily these two since they have more experience. Growing. Alright, we'll say these guys are growing. Mining is a 2 for this one. Mining is a 2. Mining is a 4. Well, you have cataracts. I'm going to spare you from all the pain. Plant cutting. I want everybody able to cut plants. Oh, man. Yeah, we're going to set Cataract Lady 2 first and foremost when it comes to creativity. Not going to have Cataract's Hall. She's got enough on her plate. She just has enough on her plate. Research will be good with her. Cleaning will be a second priority, as will hauling. Okay, so the way that this works, now that I've had everything kind of laid out in front of you, the priority, of course, is going from left to right what they want to do. And then, so if research is number 1, actually we'll make research number 2 as long as all smithing, crafting, and everything else is done. And cleaning will be 3 for you. So basically you'll go through, okay, number 1's left to right, boom, 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 boom. And then number 2's, 3's, so on and so forth, up to 4's. And then jobs are randomly assigned by whoever is available to take it. There is a mechanic that you can restrict, like, for example, cooking. You can say, okay, anyone can cook, but to cook the fine meals, I need someone to only be able to cook with at least a skill level 10. Granted, it's a requirement to have that skill level for that kind of level of food. You'll find out here soon. Bear with me. But it's full of really solid mechanics. I'll shut up and let's start doing this. Okay, so our number 1 thing, our important builder, who we just assigned as being... you know what? That's fine. Our miner is also our best builder. That's okay. I mean, that's okay. So let's have Helg, or Helge, however appropriate. Grab, alright, Seth, you need this gun because you're here. You need the pistol because that's what you're going to do. And you need the plasteel knife. Go get those real quick. we're going to speed up some time here. Helg is going to focus on making this table. Because with the Stonecutters table, we will be able to keep afloat. Because as they mine and as they straighten things out, that's going to be the resource that we need to build everything. So that's good. Now with our animals. We want them to eventually haul, pick up, and recover. It's just easier that way. But let's teach hauling first. So whoever's in charge of animals will make that a priority with some food to kind of get the pet to do what we want. We have some camels here that we can hunt or tame. Food is going to be a problem here that I can already tell. Okay. So now they're going through their priority list. They're seeing what they need to do, what they can do. With the wood, or with this, we're going to make any stone block possible. We want to do it until we have at least, we'll say 500. That should be at least enough to kind of give us a variety there. And at least a crafting skill of 3. Because then we don't have any resources wasted. So there we go. So that is now an opportunity. And it looks like Tatiana is getting right on it. And that's great. Because that's going to give us early access to stone, which is going to help us with our building game dramatically. We are going to have a zone here. And this is where you can tell people, all right, guys, bring this, 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 and this. Let's have them mine this out to here. But until then, we want this little patch of land to be dedicated only... Let's see, manufactured goods. No, raw resources, I think is what we want. Yeah, stone blocks and chunks. Stone chunks. And it's a higher preferred responsibility. So, she'll put him there. She's going to go work with the puppy. Try to feed the puppy. Nope, never mind. She's just going to keep on working. How we doing on our wall up here, boys? We're looking good. We are almost out of wood. In fact, it looks like that's going to be near our last bit of wood. But that's okay. We have stone coming. In fact, look at that. We already have 40 stone. 60. Man, she is on it. Okay, great. Let's build. Let's finish this wall here. And then we're going to change it to sandstone blocks. And let's do this. This way, I know it's being worked on, and it's actually a little bit of a tougher wall. And that is just fine with me. So, perfect. So we actually are getting everything built right out the gate. Now, as you can see, stone's harder to work with naturally instead of wood, so it is taking him a little bit more time to get it done. But that is alright, and we did not create any sort of designated sleeping space yet. Because let's face it, they gotta sleep. So if we're going to furniture right now, we're just going to say sleeping spots, and I'm sorry. It's in the cold, dark cavern right now, and I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. Oh, whoops. Wait. Wake up. Wake up. I know, I made you mad. Where's our boy up here? Is he asleep up there? Okay. There we go, and there he goes. So now we have him in set actual areas. Let's set their schedule, actually. So sleeping at 10 o'clock, that's fine. We'll make sure they can do it, and we won't make them stay in bed. But we're also going to make sure they have a little bit of joy in their life. Otherwise, they might go nuts. They might go a little bit crazy, and they might try to kill someone. So, minor detail. And to make sure they further don't go nuts, we're going to put in the one piece of sanity every survival should have. A horseshoe peg. It works. Just don't question it, guys. It just works, okay? The horseshoe peg has a noble history of keeping people sane, okay? Look it up. It's on Twitter. It's at least on Twitter. Okay, so we'll make it a slate because we have that. So there we go. And then our next goal is, if we can get enough stone. What is all this? Sandstone chunks, okay. So if we can say, let's haul all of this, and let's haul all of this. Because it's being silly, we'll just help it out here. Perfect. Okay. There's all that. Now we're going to make a stockpile up here. This looks like a good area to just kind of make it. Let's just kind of even it out here a touch, shall we? And we're going to say, okay, we want a zone. That's a general stockpile area right around here. And we also want to make sure it is roofed in. Because it won't do us any good if it doesn't give us any coverage. So far, our only major downfall will be not a lot of security up here. We do not have a lot of animals wandering around. That's a minor. Oh, we already have a minor break. Someone's having a rough time. Let's see why. What's up? Why are you having a minor break? Ate without a table, slept on the ground, slept outside, slept in the cold, disturbed sleep, ugly environment. Hey, that's not good. Okay, so we might have to make mining our bigger forte here. There we go. See? Building out that storage area already. Good job, man. Okay, so let's see. What are we doing up here? So he's going to go ahead and keep on working up there. Let's see. Heard a beep. Roof is collapsed. Oh, okay. Let's see. Luckily, no debris nor anything that's needed there. Obviously, you can't build a roof out too far without something to support it. And that's exactly what we have here. So if we just throw a wall here, just a single solitary wall, I'll give the roof something to hold on to. And Held might build it. No, he's pretty determined. He's going to get this done up here. We have slate blocks, which are great. We will build a bed out of slate. Does not sound comfortable, but hey, I mean, who are we to judge, right? So if we do, let's do this. We're going to go 1, we're going to go 2, we're going to go 3. And a ding. Oh, it's already gone. Nope, minor risk break. Tatiana. Yeah, you're probably needing some fun. Or someone's sick. Who's sick? Who's sick? Are you sick? Needs. New colony optimism. Nuzzled. Oh, the cute animal nuzzled with her. Very ugly environment. Yeah. Yeah, I can't dispute that. We've got him hauling, which is fine. I'll let him haul all he wants, because it helps out Tatiana, which is good. Good. Let's get our meals together. That's a good call. Oh, you blew it. Held failed while constructing the sandstone wall. Some resources have been lost. Way to go, knucklehead. Okay, so slate is kind of... We're going to have a multicolored wall up here. Just because we need this done. We need that level of security so we know, without a doubt, we're going to be okay. Okay. Well, guys, I think that is a healthy first day here in the world of Rimworld. No one died, so I mean, that's good. Let me go ahead and just save it right here. We need to name this one. Oh, all our first saves. That was so sad. Long story short, we started this one once, and everything was going great. And then I realized the microphone wasn't set up right, so it only caught about every 4th word I said. There was devastations. All right. We don't know what it's called yet, so we're going to call it the unnamed right now until I come up with a good save name here. So unnamed, we're going to save you. And that's going to do it for this episode. Ladies and gentlemen, you're all amazing. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you're enjoying this brand new series of Rimworld. Kind of different, not so graphically intensive, but oh my gosh, it's so mentally engaging. It just catches me every time and I love it. So if you enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you want to see more information or you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button, please. It helps me grow and I'm looking forward to being a big channel. And then, of course, last but certainly not least, have yourself an excellent day because you bloody deserve it. I am Spot with Spotric Games. Make it a good one.